Welcome to Great Notley Garden Village, a new development under construction near Braintree in the heart of Essex. In these programmes, we're following the construction of hundreds of new houses. Many of them are now practically finished. And as the houses go up, people are making the place their home. The new primary school will soon need to build an extension, and the local community activities are thriving. This is a huge project, with houses in every conceivable stage of construction. But all is on target, with 1,000 of the 2,000 homes now built. Today, I meet Philip Twitchett, whose family will soon become homeless due to the new development of Panas Farm.
Come all the way down to us.
It's going to go through your house.
It's going to go through our house, yeah.
But we start in the Stowe area of Great Notley. I'm off to meet saleswoman Chris Manley at The Mill, on the market for only a cool £250,000.
This is Chris Manley, who's a sales consultant on the Stowe, the area we're in at the moment. And although it looks lovely down here with all these finished houses, which were just a pile of mud when we first started here, you can see that they're still working away on those houses up there. Now the big thing is, just about every single one of these houses have been sold. And Chris, you've almost done yourself out of a job, really, haven't you?
Yes, I'm sure they'll find me plenty of other things to do, though.
What sort of people have been buying the houses here?
Well, they range from single young girls to married couples, people with families. But what's surprising, that we've got large houses here and there's an awful lot of just couples purchasing them.
Really?
Very few children actually on the Stowe.
So
At the moment.
At the moment. Well, yes, of course, those couples might just have children. Now, there's one house I do want to have a look at, and I know it's round here. This is one that has just come back onto the market, yeah?
That's right, yes. That's plot 53, The Mill.
So you've got something to sell, which is nice. How many houses on the Stowe have you actually sold in the year that you've been selling?
55.
55? So more than one a week?
Yes, yes.
This is it?
This is the house.
What is it?
It's a 4-bedroomed house. It has got en-suites to all bedrooms, which I will show you.
To all of them? Really?
Yes, it has, although some of them are not what we call the Jack and Jill. It's,
I don't know what that means.
Well, I'll
I'll
show you.
All right, then go on, you sell it.
What we've got with this, again, we've got the rendering. It's all going back onto the old design of house build. The rendering there is called Picture Gallery Red, the colouring, which again is the old design.
That's very much an Essex colour.
Very much the Essex design, yes, it is. And also you've gone back again with the sash windows, as you can see there.
Right, sell it to me then. Let's go in, and I'm going to be your customer or potential. I'm not so sure about the green door, I have to say straight away.
That is the Essex colours.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Okay. And coming into this room here, as you can see, is a very, very good size. It's what we call our breakfast family kitchen.
Breakfast family kitchen. Because of this area here, you mean?
Yes, well, I mean, again, depending on people's requirements, particularly like, say, if you've got your 2 kids for the weekend.
That's very clever. You know I've got 2 kids. Do you do a bit of research?
Well, yes. I mean, obviously, when you first come in, we like to talk to you and find out exactly what you're wanting.
Right.
And then basically it's a case of finding the house to suit your requirements.
What's this room, Chris?
This is the sitting room.
What?
Sorry.
It's all right. I mean, I'm not
but
too good.
But you can use it as a bedroom if you wish.
All right, then, this is the sitting room. Sorry. All right, maybe I should have recognised that straight away.
Sorry.
Now, remember, I'm a potential client here.
I would have said that as well.
What if I don't like part of a house? How do you avoid the bad bits and, you know, concentrate on the good bits?
Well, there's no bad points of a house. It's just some items don't suit your requirements. With this house, what you see is what you get.
There's no arguing. If you don't like it, live with it. Or change it once you bought it.
If you don't like it that much, is it the right house for you?
All right.
So that's the whole point of finding the house to suit your requirements.
Okay,
So-
let's look at some more of it, and I'll try and identify the room next time. Shall we go upstairs?
Yes, if you'd like to go to the top and then turn to the left,
Yeah.
I'll take you in those rooms first.
Is this where you're going to explain the Jack and Jill thing to me?
Yes. This is bedroom 3. Again, you've got BT and TV points in all of these rooms.
Keep the kids happy.
That's right. And here you can see we've got the cupboard. Very nice and deep. Ample storage space.
That is a deep cupboard, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Very good.
Right.
And then, of course, coming through then into what we call the Jack and Jill.
This is the Jack and Jill.
This is. Again, coming in from that bedroom, lock the door if need be. You've got your shower, toilet facilities. And then, of course, the usual bit is they forget to open that. The other one's saying, let me in, let me in.
Well, there's another bedroom on the other side of this?
Yes, then what you've got here is, sorry, we've just had carpets laid, so the door's a bit stiff there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, here you see you come through, all from the landing, into the 4th room.
So that's Jack's, and this is Jill's, or vice versa?
And then again here, you've then got a hanging wardrobe. This one isn't as large, but still, it still offers good facilities.
Right, the master bedroom.
So were you impressed with that?
I am actually impressed with that. Yes, that's a good point. I like that.
Go through.
Chris is working extremely well on the sales pitch, and the mill does seem to fit all requirements. However, I think it's now owning up time.
I've got some bad news about this one. I've actually been wasting your time, because actually this is the truth. I'm moving house tomorrow. And it's up in Manchester, so this is not the one for me, but I think this is a very nice house.
Oh, but it's not bad news that you've been wasting my time, because I knew you were wasting my time.
Ah, clever, Chris.
Well, it's time to go over to the Discovery Centre in the Great Notley Country Park. We have been watching the building of this sports and natural history centre throughout the series. This building is a hothouse of alternative technologies, whose motto is healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy planet. Today, there's a small celebration.
This building is the Discovery Centre, and over the months we've seen it grow every stage from the ground up. And it has to be said, there have been 1 or 2 hiccups along the way, but finally this building is watertight, which means they're about to carry out a ceremony that's been going on for centuries. It's called topping out, although it's a little different these days. Richard and Brian are going to do it. Away you go, gentlemen.
Thank you, Tim. You hold on to that.
Hold on to that.
What we're going to do is we're going to have a quiet drink.
A quiet drink.
Brian, who's the contract manager and the site manager.
Yeah.
If I pour yours.
Okay.
I was actually going to give you some of the pond water, but I thought you might object to that. So.
The pond water is actually sewage water that's recycled using reeds, so he's trying to be clever. But I think we'll leave it.
Actually drink
They
it.
do say that, but I've not tried it yet. So do we do anything, or do we just drink?
We celebrate the fact that we're at the top of the building. We take a toast.
Cheers.
And then we chuck it over the panels.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay.
Just like that.
Here comes mine.
And there goes yours.
There we go.
Now you notice that we've used a non-alcoholic drink. In the old days, of course, there would have been beer. But in the modern health and safety conscious industry, we're not allowed it anymore.
So there's no alcohol on site.
So we may well have a strike on our hands when the workers hear about it.
What's it all about, topping out, though?
Well, it goes back in time, over a couple of centuries. I think the real meaning's been a bit lost, but from what I understand, it was linked to, say, church buildings when they put the final cross on top of the spire. From our point of view in a modern industry now, we tend to link it to that watertightness that you were talking about.
Is that why you splash it?
That's why we splash it. We're just checking
Make sure you
to make
don't
sure
go
he's got it
through.
right. But the milestone is that we now can almost see the end of the building because it's watertight. A lot more activity can take place inside the building because it's not so open to the elements.
So
a good time.
Building really starts to move on the inside.
The building
now,
really starts to move on the inside now, and we can actually start to talk about the ceremony when we're going to actually open the building,
Right.
which is just as important.
Are you allowed a drink then?
We're allowed a slightly better drink.
Oh, excellent.
No, this is not too bad. It's not as good as the pond water, though, Tim.
Come on, gents, let's
Thanks
go and have a
very
look at
much.
it.
Join us in part 2 when I return to visit Jonathan Clark, casting his bird of prey. And hear of a housing crisis from Philip Twitchett.
Got to move out on New Year's
The 1st
Day.
of January, New Year's Day, is our date.
Welcome back to Great Notley Garden Village. Eventually, there will be 2,000 new homes here and a new community of over 5,000 people. The final phase of the development is now being built in the Panas Farm area. And it's here where I'm off to meet Philip Twitchett, who, along with his parents, is about to be made homeless.
This is Philip Twitchett, who lives in this lovely old house. He was brought up in this old house on Panas Farm. These houses actually belong to the old farm that was just over there. Now, Panas Farm is actually the last bit of the development at Great Notley, which sadly means that Philip's family home, his family have been here for 38 years, is going to be pulled down. Now, last time we met you, you knew it was going to happen, but you didn't really know when. You've now got a date, haven't you?
Yes, we've been told it's now going to be the 1st of January.
That's not going to be a very good New Year's Eve for you, is it?
No, it's going to be a bit of a downer, really. The last time, everything's going to be packed away. We'll be ready to move, but
New Year's
where?
Day. You've got to move out on New Year's
The 1st
Day.
of January, New Year's Day, is our date.
The house used to belong to Panas Farm and will now be the last building to be demolished. Philip's father worked on the farm until he retired when he was 70. Since, his health has deteriorated.
Yeah, father's lost his sight. He's only got side vision. If he goes anywhere, he doesn't know he gets lost. So we'd rather be here.
What have the council said?
The council has said we'll have to wait till the 1st of January. They claim they've got no houses for us and we've got to stop here. That's the remark we've got.
So hold on, you've got the developers telling you that you've got to leave on the 1st of January.
Yes.
And the council saying they won't tell you anything until the 1st of January,
We've got to wait till
which
the
is a
1st of
bank holiday anyway.
We've got to wait till the 1st of January to get a remark from the council. And they still keep saying there's no houses in the area. So what do? Move out into a caravan? But
Well, what are you going to do?
we've just got to wait on the council.
For Philip and his parents, this is a catch-22. Whilst they have this roof above their heads, they don't qualify for alternative housing. And when they're declared homeless, then they will have little choice in terms of accommodation.
What sort of house would you like, bearing in mind your dad's sight? Your mum's also got arthritis, hasn't she?
The ideal place, I would be a bungalow, which would sort of suit everybody, be easy to get around. But I think we'll end up with a little 2-bedroom, sort of terraced house would be the next thing. Garden-wise, I think we'll end up with a small patch, not very big. We'll be able to get a few flowers on it and no vegetables. But we always like to have fresh vegetables, which we're not going to have anymore.
You and your family are part of the old community here, and yet the developers up there, all they ever talk about is creating a new community. They've got to get rid of you to create a new one. Would you like to be part of that new community?
Yes, we would like to be a part of the new community. It'd be nice to have a new area, new people to meet. Sorry to see the old place go. It's going to be a change, but we'd prefer to be up on the new area, in a new house, with new people.
Well, you mentioned earlier it's only a short walk up to the new houses. They are doing social housing, as they call it, affordable social housing, which to you and me was old council houses. Should we go and have a look at them?
Yeah, let's go out and have a look. It'd be fine.
You might not get one, but
Well, if we don't get one, we don't, but it'd be nice to see what somebody else is going to get, what I'm not.
That's very generous. Let's have a look. This is where the social housing begins, basically everything behind this fencing here. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of them. The interesting thing is that they're exactly the same as these houses over on this side of the road, except that these have been bought privately, and these are going to be the social houses.
No, it's sort of it's a good match, really. So
Well, they mirror one another.
Mirror one.
Absolutely.
So it's the sort of houses to have.
And they're not just going to stop here, they're going to go on over that side. There's a big mound of earth there now, but actually that's going to be more social housing. But here you are. Here's the first sort of major courtyard. What do you think?
It's just a nice area. It looks nice. I know it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but it's sort of an ideal area, ideal size. Be nice for me. Hopefully mother and father-in-law would like it.
Well, I don't
Will Philip and his elderly parents ever have chance of being neighbours here? Who knows? Overlooking the Great Notley Garden Village is the Great Notley Hill. The top of this panoramic peak is quietly being prepared for the arrival of a very special newcomer, a feature which will be seen as a historic landmark for miles around. They're waiting for a silver bird of prey, and I'm off to meet its creator.
We've taken a short trip out of Essex to rural Suffolk to meet Jonathan Clark, a sculptor who's already very popular in Great Notley. He's got one or two pieces there right now. And a short while ago, we saw him win a major competition to build a sculpture on top of the mound that overlooks the Great Notley Bowl. It's based on a giant bird of prey.
This is a hot melt glue gun.
We last met Jonathan when he was cutting out the shapes of the bird in polystyrene.
Stick two bits together like that, you see, so it's quite quick.
You've got the model with you now. This is it. That's what he's going to look like on top of the hill. Which bit is actually under the sand at the moment?
Well, we've got this element here. Because I'm limited to size that I can cast in one piece, it's all broken up into smaller parts. So I've got this element here being cast, and also a part of the neck.
So it's its bottom and its neck.
That's basically, yeah. That will be then they'll all be welded together into its various parts when it's all finished and polished.
The next part of the process is to bury individual shapes of the bird into the sand pit. They now become the mould, ready to be cast into the final aluminium sections.
So these plant pots here, you're going to pull them out?
Yeah, these are actually removed now, and that you can see is the polystyrene of part of the running or runners or feeding system of the casting. That's the way to get the metal to the bits you want.
So the polystyrene and the shape that you're actually making in here, is that made out of polystyrene as well?
The whole thing's made of polystyrene. Yeah.
So these runners, they're like sewer systems, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah, it gets the molten metal to where it wants. It runs down along and then down into the casting.
This is incredible. There's 18 kilos of aluminium sticking out of the furnace there. It's slowly melting into it. When you think about it, this process hasn't changed at all for thousands and thousands of years. Ever since man first found metal ore, they started melting it in exactly the same way and carrying it in almost exactly the same way. The only difference is the material that Jonathan's actually melting.
This is an old and ancient process. The molten metal runs into the casting. The polystyrene is 98% air, and as the molten metal runs down, it turns the polystyrene mold into a puff of smoke.
It is just like a volcano. Look at it, just gently smoking away. I can feel the warmth coming through the sand here. Very, very warm. metal inside of there, gently cooling. Jonathan says it'll take about 20 minutes before it's fairly solid. It's incredible that underneath this sand, artistic life is being created. A form is being made under here, and eventually that form will be admired by millions of people on top of a slightly bigger mound.
And after 20 minutes cooling, the magic and mystery of this ancient alchemy is revealed. The solid aluminium part of the bird is cast.
What do we do? Dig.
Dig. Well, you gently. You dig gently, because aluminium is, this pure aluminium, it's actually quite soft, and if you do it too sharp, you can jag into the casting with your shovel.
So do we just pull it away?
Yeah, it's a bit like archaeology. You know?
How are we doing?
We'll do the honours.
I'd love to, yeah. Thank you. Now, does it matter where I hook it?
You've got to hook it round there, like that, and pull.
Wow.
Right. It's potentially can burn you, but it just basically it's got to the stage of solidity now.
And this bit here?
Yeah, if we turn it over, we can see the bit, which is not very interesting.
Well, this is the bottom, isn't it?
This is the bit at the back of the tail, the base of the tail, where the tail will join on. There's another bit that will fit inside here, which is under the sand there.
Now, this has all got to be ready in, what, about 2 weeks' time?
Yeah.
You're going to be able to do it?
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, no, it shouldn't.
You love working to deadlines anyway, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, if I haven't got a deadline, it's sort of like you just keep meandering off and do something else.
Well, with a bit of luck, in a couple of weeks, we might just see this going on top of the hill.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As I say, weather and diesel permitting.
Cheers, mate.
We will return to see the day when Jonathan's bird takes flight over the Notley skies. Join us again when we return for another episode in the life of Great Notley Garden Village.